Good evening and welcome to ND Admissions Live with the Mendoza College of Business. My name is Dr. Amanda McKendree and I'm an Associate Teaching Professor of Management and Organization. I also have the privilege of working with students and serving the college as an academic director for undergraduate studies. I also serve as the Arthur F. and Mary J. O'Neill Director of our Fanning Center for Business Communication. Thank you for joining us this evening, and congratulations to our admitted students joining us, and a very heartfelt congratulations to the parents joining us this evening, and what a wonderful milestone to be celebrating with your family. I am lucky to be joined this evening by two amazing Mendoza students, and we'll hear a brief self-introduction from them.
Hi, my name is Dawson Kaiser. Here I'm studying management consulting with minors in theology and innovation entrepreneurship. I'm from Tampa, Florida, and then a few things that I do around campus. I'm president of my dorm, Dillon Hall, Go Big Red. I'm the spring events planner for Irish Fighting for St. Jude, so we got some exciting stuff planned this semester. I'm a Basilica rector, which is great. And then I'm also a member of the Business Honors Program, which I really enjoy. And then just some stuff that I like to do is I'm actually going skiing this weekend with some friends. And then I love to kind of boat down in Tampa and stuff. So
nice. Hi, my name is Michaela Jura. I'm a junior and I'm studying accounting as well as Italian. And I'm originally from Long Island, New York, and now I live in Johnson Family Hall. A few things that I am involved with on campus is I am also part of the Business Honors Program, which we'll talk more about later. I am involved with Best Buddies, which is a really great club. And I also loves to stay active. So I'm involved with running club as well as the women's club soccer team.
And we will get a chance to hear from our panelists a little bit more, but I also would like to introduce you to our finance student, Dan Law, who's joining us and managing the chat. And we encourage you to send in those questions as we begin the conversation and questions come to mind. Please feel free to enter those questions and we'll get those answered for you. We also have some pre-submitted questions that we will talk through first. But to kick us off, I'd like to share just some brief comments on the curriculum and to give you an overview of some of the majors within the Mendoza College of Business. It's quite an exciting time now to be joining the Mendoza College of Business. We just launched a brand new core curriculum that represents some key changes in our core curriculum. And these changes were much needed and we're excited about them. And it was a wonderful way to innovate our program. You see at the top of your screen there that we like to encourage our students to chart their own course when they're entering the Mendoza College of Business, with the hopes that they are leaving us in well-deserved positions where they are changing the future. There are three integrated components of the curriculum that really help to define all of the majors. We begin with the business disciplines, and we'll talk a bit more about those, but you can think of your interests here in accountancy or business analytics or finance or management consulting or marketing. We also couple analytics within those disciplines, meaning that we are emphasizing the use of data to inform business solutions. One of the most distinctive features of our curriculum and what I think sets Mendoza apart from other business programs out there is our attention to integral human development. And this means that we're focused on the whole student and the entire experience of our students, not just in the classroom when they are a Mendoza student. We talk about business ethics across the courses and what it means to be an ethical leader. With those key foundations in mind, let's talk a little bit more about each of the majors, and we'll start with accountancy. If you find that you are interested in the principles and practices of accounting, as well as those analytical tools, then our accountancy program might be a good fit for you. You'll take courses in ethics in accounting, strategic cost management, or federal taxation, just to give you a sampling of some of those courses. You'll also have the opportunity to participate in one of the oldest experiential learning programs here on campus, and that's the Tax Assistance Program, where you will be working with members of the community and providing a service to them as you prepare their tax documents. Our accountancy students find that they are a national recruiting priority for all of the major firms. And our accounting program is proud to announce that it has a 100% placement rate. Let's talk briefly about business analytics. In this particular program, you'll learn how data-driven analytical techniques can help solve those business problems. You'll take courses in data analytics with Python, conveying visual data insights, and machine learning. So a nice range of options available to you within that field of analytics. There are study abroad opportunities available to our analytics students, and our graduates go on to join a number of companies, including McKinsey, Deloitte, Google, Microsoft, just to name a few. Our finance major is our largest major within the Mendoza College of Business. And again, this is another program that prepares you for a wide range of employment opportunities, whether it's corporate finance or investments or commercial and investment banking. We also emphasize those analytical tools within the finance program, and you'll take courses such as investment theory or corporate financial reporting. You'll also be able to join programs and other institutes and centers on campus. One of the strongest centers within finance is our Notre Dame Institute for Global Investing, and you'll have the opportunity to participate in lecture series, special events with key recruiters and key firms who have a strong interest in our students. Moving on to management consulting, and we'll get a bit more into that major in just a minute. But this major is important for us because this is what allows our students to participate in experiential learning opportunities in the classroom. Students are often paired with clients who bring real-world problems into the classroom and ask for their best thinking on these business problems. We regularly have courses that partner with these potential employers, and our students are presenting to these firms almost on a weekly basis in some courses. And our last major is marketing. And the best part about a marketing major is this idea of combining not only the creative aspects, but also bringing the analytics along with that. So if that's a career option that's appealing to you, I would encourage you to ask some questions about that major and to talk to some individuals to get some more information on that program. I also wanted to introduce you to a couple of our minors because these are great ways to supplement your programs of study and your majors that you might select. We have a brand new minor. As of this semester, we're offering a foundational course in business and the common good. So if you have an interest in the philosophical foundations of business or theological foundations of business, I would encourage you to take a look at the business and the common good minor. Our business in technology minor looks at the use of digital technologies and how they are informing workplace interactions. You also get some insights on the managerial side of that. So how do you implement those technologies and how do you help support the individuals working with those technologies? Innovation and entrepreneurship. This minor partners closely with our Idea Center here on campus, which can be considered the hub of commercialization and entrepreneurial activities. You have a capstone project that focuses on developing a business idea and then following that project through to launching that in the business market. And then lastly, our real estate minor. If you have interests in real estate law or real estate finance, this might be an appropriate minor for you. We have a new course in this minor that is real estate, Puerto Rico real estate, where you have an opportunity to travel and to learn about the study of real estate in an international location. I just wanted to share some brief highlights of each of these majors to give you an idea of the range of options available to you. I should also add that we have a new double major opportunity within the Mendoza College of Business, and that is our accountancy and finance double major. One of the key benefits of that option is that it does open you up to some differing career choices, and it gives you both the background and the foundations in accounting and finance that our recruiters think is quite helpful. So with that overview in mind, let me just share with you now some brief moments that happen within the classroom and within the Mendoza College of Business. And what you see in front of you are a number of stories, and these stories have shaped the experiences of our Mendoza students. You see pictures here of our students traveling abroad and using their business acumen in informing business decision making. You see in these photos opportunities for events and to interact with employers and to practice those important networking skills. And if I can draw your attention to the photo in the bottom right of the slide, you'll see we have a group of proud accountancy students standing in front of Touchdown Jesus on commencement day. And I can't think of a more exciting moment for those students and to celebrate all of those accomplishments. But before we make it to that point in our academic careers, let's take a step back and talk about the discernment process. We received a number of questions about how do you make a decision related to your major? How do you know which minor might be the best for you? One of the key benefits of the new curriculum in Mendoza is enhanced flexibility for students to be able to take additional courses across different programs of study. But it does create moments where you're going through the discernment process and trying to make decisions on what might be the best fit for you. So maybe, Dawson, we'll start with you. And if you want to share a bit about your discernment journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in terms of my major, I was kind of all over the place. I was a marketing major coming in, and then I thought about finance for a while. I was going to different finance clubs on campus and stuff. And I was just trying to figure out like where I kind of felt like I fit in the business world. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure to kind of like, oh my gosh, like whatever major that I pick is going to be my job and then I'm going to be stuck. Like, but that's not how it is at all. Like, and what I really liked about kind of Mendoza was I got to take a lot of different classes and like for each major, like I took accounting 1 and 2, marketing, finance, I'm in management right now. So you get to take a lot of different classes that kind of help you discern what you want to do. And I also ultimately, I talked to a lot of people about kind of what I thought I should do for my major. And I got a lot of different advice, probably too much. I talked to maybe too many people about it. But the consistent advice that I got was to study what you're interested in and study like what you think you'd be passionate about. And then like from there, like the rest will figure itself out, you know? And so kind of from talking to the people at like Center for Career Development and different professors and upperclassmen, I kind of felt like management consulting was like what I was most drawn to. And I was a little intimidated first because it was a newer major. There's not as many people in it, but I'm very happy with my decision so far and looking forward to taking more classes for it. So
thank you so much. Michaela.
Yeah, I would say I did have a slightly different experience in choosing my major. Back when I was a junior in high school, I had the amazing privilege of attending a summer program at Notre Dame. So before going into my senior year, I actually took a 2-week accounting class. And during that time period, I got used to just like what it's like to live at Notre Dame, be a student, even just for 2 weeks, and also just to learn some very basic foundations of accounting. So ever since that program, I've kind of been set on accounting, and I definitely have not regretted it since. I think there is a world of opportunities that a background in accounting can definitely give you. And
tell us about your minor and how you came with your minor and how that connects to your major.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm minoring in Italian, and that's definitely very different than any major minor in Mendoza. But I took Italian in high school, and I also have a lot of family in Italy. So one of just like my really big dreams is being able to learn Italian and communicate with my cousins and aunts overseas, and also to study abroad in Italy one day, which I had the opportunity to do this summer. So yeah, the minor is 5 Italian classes, and I had some background in high school as well. And I had a really great experience. I actually just finished my last Italian class last semester, which is very bittersweet, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Dawson, is there anything you would add about your minor and how it connects to your major?
Yeah, I think it's the kind of the cliche Notre Dame saying, like I remember they said, you know, the mind will not be cultivated at the expense of the heart. And I feel like kind of with a theology minor, and you talked about the integral human development, that kind of allows me to kind of even further that and explore like, you know, business from like the theology side and things like that. So I'm really happy with the courses that I'm taking. It's a good mix of kind of, you know, the more quantitative business classes and obviously the readings with theology and the more qualitative stuff. And then the innovation entrepreneurship, I feel like just kind of pairs well with management consulting. I've always kind of had a little bit of like a entrepreneurial spirit, you know? And so I'm excited to kind of get into that minor for sure.
Now, you both are great examples of how you can create these combinations within Mendoza or combine majors, minors outside of Mendoza. So it really is up to individual students to discern that path and make those decisions about where your passions are and what's going to be the best fit for you. So we're lucky enough too that you both just happen to be in the business honors program. So Michaela, maybe you could talk a bit about how you got involved with the program and what you're working on now in the program. And then Dawson will ask you too.
Yeah, absolutely. So the business honors program is a relatively new program. It actually just started last year, and it's a program wherein current freshmen in Mendoza apply to begin the curriculum and the program in their sophomore year, all the way through to their senior year. And the program involves a certain curriculum of new classes, advanced classes, but also just aside from that standpoint, there are a lot of really great aspects that I enjoy. One of them is the colloquium. So that's a 1-credit course in a way, where 8 times a semester we have speakers that have some relation to Notre Dame, that graduated from a business school, Notre Dame, or even others, and just have some other connection to the university. And they speak about their whole professional life from graduating college to where they are now. And it's really inspiring to see professionals in the business world, where they started, where they are now, and just give us some life advice as well. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the program. And alongside of that, I think we have a really great community within the program. We do lots of things together, whether it's just totally social, like going bowling or ice skating together, or we also have mentors and mentees as well. So I'm a junior in the program, so I have 2 business honors program buddies that I meet with once in a while to give advice to or just see how their classes are going. And on top of that, I also have my own mentor who's in the graduate program now. So she's an MBA student graduating this spring. And we also meet once in a while just to catch up and see how we're both doing. And it's a really great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the social. We have our business honors ball coming up,
Yes.
Which we're super excited for. But yeah, no, I really love the program. I think kind of how Mendoza talks about growing the good in business, like the classes that we take kind of like really allow us to understand what that means and like the best ways we can go about doing it. Which I really like, and I think is a really important thing to kind of, know kind of the purpose behind business. And, you're not just trying to do it to make money, obviously there's more important things than that, which is really great. And then we do other things. I'm like a tutor for the program. So I tutor other Mendoza kids in like different classes that they're taking and stuff. So I'm a tutor for like the accounting class, which is great. And then also we do different service opportunities as well, which are great. It's kind of nice to be able to like, give back to the South Bend community and everything. So yeah, I absolutely love the program. It's been great so far.
So in addition to the coursework, I know we received a lot of questions about internships and how did you begin that process of finding an internship? How did you work with the Career Center and your advisor to make that happen? Can you walk us through that process?
Absolutely. I saw one of the pre-submitted questions was like, where can you get an internship? And I think the answer is like anywhere, that was like, that's a funny question. Cause like you said, there's all these different big companies that want to hire Mendoza students. I actually have not done like a full summer internship yet. I spent last summer in Tampa, just kind of working at home. And then this summer I had a few lined up, but I'm actually studying abroad in Dublin this summer. So I had to kind of decline a few offers, but it's super, super easy. It's not like you're on your own. They have, Notre Dame has like, I think a partnership with Handshake where you're able to kind of apply super easily there and stuff. And then you can meet with like the Center for Career Development people, like Mendoza specifically. I've talked to those different people a lot and they are super helpful, not just like with major discernment, like I mentioned, but also with like, internships and kind of the process for that. I'm trying to do consulting. And so I'm starting kind of the recruiting and casing process for that. And so they've been super, super helpful for me with that and stuff. So it's been great so far.
And Michaela, anything you would add there?
Yeah, adding on to that, I think the Center for Career Development is amazing here at Notre Dame, and they work with Mendoza as well. I think just you can start when you're a freshman, just going to certain workshops they have, for example, like how to build a resume or how to conduct yourself in an interview. And I think they're just like really, really helpful programs. And you have so many people and advisors that are willing to help you find jobs or prepare for interviews and help you with your application. So yeah, I think it's great. For accounting specifically, I think a lot of students try to work for an accounting firm in the summer. I'll be with KPMG this summer in New York doing an audit internship. But beyond the big four, there are so many different companies that accountant students work for. And I would say it's definitely not something to overly stress about. I'm a junior now, and I'm doing my first internship this summer. Last year, I studied abroad in the summer as well. So there's so many opportunities. There's definitely no rush to, or no way to be nervous if you don't have an internship after your freshman year. Just as long as you're, I think, just getting into the game early, like learning how to network, doing those workshops, which Mendoza and the Center for Career Development is extremely helpful with.
That's such helpful advice because I do believe that you can feel like you have to do everything all at once and that there are so many options and you have your courses and your internships and you're thinking about study abroad. But I think there's something so helpful about what you said and just planning it out and not feeling like you have to do everything in your first year or even your second year.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that there's so many support resources to help you through that conversation.
Yeah. Well, the other day I had a freshman ask me, like, do I need to get an internship this summer, Dawson? I'm like, you're good. Like, it's going to be okay. Like, if you want to, if you find an opportunity that you think you would really like, then great, pursue that. But it's not like a mandatory thing for all first years. So.
Is there anything else you'd like to chat about with study abroad before we move on to some of our questions that are coming in this evening?
Yeah, sure. I was kind of trying to decide whether I wanted to do a semester program or a summer. Like I said, I ultimately decided Dublin summer, but I have a bunch of friends who are going abroad in both the fall and the spring. And Notre Dame, they make it pretty easy for you. Like, it's not, if you go abroad, you're going to have to take 24 credits your next 2 semesters. Like, they offer a lot of different classes and stuff that you can take, which is great. I ultimately just decided that summer was best for me. So that's what I'm doing. And Michaela, you did the same thing. But yeah, you could talk. Still haven't been. So she's actually been.
Yeah, sure. I can talk about it as well. I thought very similar thing. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a whole semester abroad either. And so the summer was the perfect balance. I did a 5-week program in Rome, which was an absolutely incredible, informative experience. You take really amazing classes there that just like involve you so much in Italian culture or whatever country you end up studying in. Something I would add, Mendoza students absolutely can do a semester or a summer abroad. I'm a junior and you do go abroad your junior year, or if you do a summer program, you can do any summer. And all of my friends have absolutely loved their semesters abroad in the fall. And I have friends that are abroad now in the spring that are having a really good time. I'm catching up with them when I can. I guess, and one more thing I would add about study abroad is just the amount of new people you meet. I met 3 of my best friends now at Notre Dame this summer as a junior in Rome, because you meet a lot of people that aren't in your major necessarily, aren't in Mendoza, but you have a lot in common with. So I think it's a really good experience to just meet everyone, at Notre Dame or even just in the country that you're studying in. And I would highly recommend it. It's probably one of my best experiences.
And one more thing, it's sophomore fall you apply, so it's not something you have to worry about freshman year.
Yes, that too.
So you get to kind of ease into the coursework and stuff. You don't immediately have to worry about, am I going to study in a different country?
So now that we're talking about what your typical schedule could look like and how you manage the study abroad, we did have a couple of questions come in about how do you manage it all? And how do you make sure you have time for all of your different activities and also to have your social interactions with friends on campus, off campus? So can you talk a little bit about how you manage everything you have going on?
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment for sure. Kind of the first semester, my fall freshman year, I was spending a lot of time kind of in the library, and I'm like, at the end of the semester, I'm like, man, and I think it was also, I wasn't being productive enough with my time. I think that's an important thing, is kind of the time that you set aside for studying, you got to, give it your all then, so then you can do these other things. I found myself in the library a lot, like checking my phone and doing that. I'm like, I just spent 4 hours in the library. I could barely get anything done. But in terms of time management, it's something that happens kind of through, like I said, a little bit of trial and error. But it's definitely doable. I mean, we're both, pretty involved, and I still have plenty of time with my friends and stuff. I don't feel like, oh, it's Friday night, I gotta study tonight and get ahead. Like, you got plenty of time. I will say that it can feel a little bit overwhelming in the fall, especially when you first come, just because, football, like your Saturdays are basically a wash, like you're doing football all day, which is, fantastic. But it's definitely like, so don't freak out if you're feeling overwhelmed, because I think that's a normal feeling. And also there's a ton of resources that you have. Like, you can talk to upperclassmen, you can talk to different departments in Notre Dame that help you with kind of like the mental health stuff. So there's a lot of different resources for you that you can find out. But it's definitely something I'm still working on. Definitely a finely tuned process.
Yeah, how have you handled time management, Michaela?
Yeah, I would totally add to that. I think time management is something I'm still continuing to work on. It's never something that you just like completely reach and you're like, oh yeah, I'm perfect at managing my time. But I definitely do think I've grown a lot since coming to Notre Dame in terms of time management. There's a lot of tools you can use to help you, like something just as simple as using Google Calendar to plan out your day and just plan out your tasks, and then also include like your fun activities. Like, for example, in my Google Calendar, I have running club practice planned, and then I have tax homework planned, like just so I don't forget about it.
Structuring it out.
Absolutely.
And I definitely do think there's a really great work-life balance here at Notre Dame. There's really good opportunities to study and get your work done, but then also, like, when you're done, you can have fun and relax. And there's so many on-campus activities over the weekend as well. Just like the Center for Student Development plans so many really fun activities, whether it's like a movie night in one of our lecture halls or laser tag in one of our buildings here at Notre Dame. So there's definitely a lot to do, and it does become manageable. It's overwhelming at first, but it definitely is manageable.
So for our question about what are the 2 or 3 pieces of advice for that time management, we would say creating your calendar.
Yes, calendar is big time.
Structuring your time, finding that balance.
Yeah, I think the calendar is definitely big.
Yeah.
I've kind of bounced around a few apps, but I started using Google Calendar actually just this semester, and I'm like, why was I not using this the whole time? It's super nice, and it's kind of like she said, I have like dinner with a friend on there, like when we can invite each other through the Google, so it's great. I would say the calendar is essential, because the worst thing is when you like forget something and then you're like, oh my, like you forget to go to something. So having the calendar is huge, and that's something I've done. But yeah, and then also. And I think like second piece of advice would maybe be like, make time for like, the people that matter, and like make time for the things that you like want to do, and like make time for free time. Like, you will be able to find free time. It's not like we're studying and doing all stuff like it's a very like work hard, play hard mentality, which is great. And so I wouldn't worry about like, I'm not gonna have time for anything, because that's not true. You just kind of got to organize your time, and then you go from there.
Yeah. And I would just add like one other piece of advice. Have an accountability buddy, or buddies.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of my classmates or just friends from my dorm will go to the library together. We'll put our phones in the middle of the table. Like, no one can touch them for an hour. We just get work done together. And I think just Notre Dame's a super collaborative environment. Everyone here is trying to help each other out and just help each other grow and land more opportunities and manage time together.
So if you look across the courses that you've taken, do you find that it was most organized around collaborative work, where you were working with small groups or teams, or did you find a significant amount of individual work? Can you talk us through the workload in your programs?
Yeah, I can start. I would say there's a balance of both, but in almost every single class I've taken at Notre Dame, there's been a group project or a group homework assignment. So it is super collaborative. And I think that's really reflective of what business work in the real world is. Yeah. Just a lot of the companies I've talked to, even just in my own interviews, they like to talk about how collaborative their work environment is, and being part of a team really helps you get more work done together. efficiently. So I would say, yeah, it's definitely collaborative. Some things obviously are assigned on your own, and I think it's good to, separate some group time and work time to really focus and study as well. So it's definitely not like only group work or only individual. But yeah, I definitely think for the most part it is collaborative.
Yeah, it's a mix of both too. I think kind of like you mentioned, an accountability buddy. I think kind of a study buddy too. Even like one of my friends who's in arts and letters, like I'll be like, "You want to go to Hess for a few hours at the library?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And so we're there with each other. And I'm like, I see him working, so I should probably work. Like it's kind of like we feed off each other in terms of that, and then we can like take breaks together and stuff. So it's nice to like work collaboratively, even if you're working on different things. I would definitely recommend that. But yeah, like she said, I think like she said, every single class we've had in Mendoza has a group project, which is great. You get to meet a bunch of people, and then you work collaboratively. But also there's some individual stuff too. So.
Nice. And what about the faculty that you've had? I think one of the aspects that sets Mendoza apart is just the idea that faculty are available and they want to be available to students, and that students can easily reach out and talk to faculty. So can you share a bit about your experience and how you've interacted with faculty over your years?
Yeah, I think that's kind of been one of the highlights for my Notre Dame experience so far, Mendoza and beyond, is like the faculty. They are like really fantastic and really care about you. I think I've gone to like office hours for almost every single one of my classes. Because you go and you're like, I'm struggling with this, and then they help you, and then you're like, why haven't I been doing this the whole time? Because they're the ones making the test, they're the ones teaching the material. Yeah, they're very much like it feels intimidating, like when you first get to college, like I don't know, do they want? But in Mendoza too, the classes are a little bit smaller, which is nice. So you get to kind of like at a certain point of through the semester, the professors will know your name, which is cool. But yeah, I definitely would not be afraid to kind of reach out to professors, email them, and go to their office hours, and like that has been one of my favorite things so far in terms of academics. So,
no, that's a really good point to bring up, in that faculty are teaching you, and even in larger classes, you'll have the faculty as the main instructor, and then you might have undergraduate TAs or graduate TAs. But for the most part, your primary instructor will be that faculty 100%. Person. Yeah, Michaela, what would you add there?
Yeah, I would completely agree with Dawson. I think I've loved every single one of my Notre Dame professors. They are just, number one, such inspiring people. They've accomplished so much in their life. And just the way that they really want to share it with us and help us to grow just like them. Super inspiring. And then they really are great teachers. I think they get to know you personally. They get to know your learning style, and they really just like help you along the way with every course. And I would completely agree with what Dawson said. Go to office hours. It definitely shows that you're putting in as much effort as they are.
True.
And especially Mendoza professors they will make themselves available to help you. If you say, I have a busy schedule, I can't make your office hours, they'll say, okay, let's meet at 10 at night on Tuesday, or like over Zoom or whatever it is. Sorry, but just like anytime they want to make themselves available to help you learn and help you do well in your courses. And I think it's really great.
I think that's a great way to explain it. We invite students, we have these office hours, and we mean it. We want you to come see us and come talk to us and ask questions. We did receive some questions about the honors program and how you manage that process, the application process, if you could share your experience with that. And maybe Michaela, would like to start?
Sure. I think, so the application process, like I said earlier, is spring of your freshman year. It's just a 2-essay kind of application. And then I think they might have changed it, but there wasn't an interview when I first applied.
Yeah, there was.
So it's a relatively simple process, nothing like to overstress you while you have all of your other courses to worry about. And sorry, so you said the application process.
Yes. What were the different steps?
Yeah. So I guess that's just the main steps to apply. And then once you're admitted, it really is like a manageable program. They also know, because, like your high achieving students, I mean, everyone is at Notre Dame, like, we know that you have a lot on your plate. How can we enhance your learning experience? And so I think they've done a really good job with that. Especially like the workload. I mean, it's a little more than maybe your average classes in terms of the specific advanced classes, but it is definitely manageable. And all the activities that they have, like aside from academics, really just help you grow as a person, whether that's, volunteering in South Bend or listening to a professional speaker. I think they're all experiences that are worth your time.
Definitely. Yeah. And another thing, the honors program, like she said, is brand new. So it's changing.
Yes,
I mean, the
definitely.
application process for you guys might be different than it was for us. We just had, like she said, just like essays and stuff. And I think I went to some informational session before, and I think you were one of the ones talking about the program. Like, oh, this sounds great. But yeah, it's definitely, you apply your freshman spring, and then you start kind of sophomore year. Like I started this last fall. And then also, if you don't get selected in the freshman spring, you have a chance to reapply. Like I had one of my friends reapply, like it's late first semester for your fall semester, and he got in. So now he's part of the program. He started this semester. And I think each semester you can reapply. I believe
up until a certain point.
Up until a certain point.
Because there are courses that you need to take.
That's true.
But I think up until, you can apply twice after that first time.
Yeah.
So up until
maybe again
going
in the spring,
into your fall of your junior year, you can apply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if I could add one element to the honors program, I wanted to mention your advisor, because I know you have such a strong advising team for our honors students. And that's just an additional resource and someone that you can meet with and plan out your course of study, and to have that resource and support. And that really goes for all admitted Mendoza students. We have an amazing team of undergraduate advisors who are there for you every step of the way to help you think through the best classes, the best majors, to help connect you with available resources. They offer drop-in hours, they offer in-person conversations and virtual meetings. So you could think of them as a wonderful source of support during your time here as well. We have time for one more question, and I'd like to ask our panelists if you could share with our audience your favorite tradition here on campus, or if your favorite Mendoza tradition.
Okay, I have to think for a second about
if
this
you have
one.
to think, I can start then. That's fine.
I think I have so many favorite traditions, so
it's tough to pick
It is
just one.
difficult to choose. But something I've really enjoyed since my freshman year is a tradition within my dorm. I know we haven't talked too much about dorm life, but it's really just like your community for the next 3 or 4 years on campus. They're really like your sisters and your brothers, and they're just like really amazing friends. So I think one of our biggest traditions in Johnson Family Hall, which is where I live, is our first home football game every year. We wake the freshmen up at 6:30 in the morning, and we parade around campus, waking all of campus up for a big day of football and fun. So I think that's definitely one of my favorite traditions.
Yeah, mine's also centered around football a little bit. It's funny you mentioned that. We have somebody in Dillon that plays the bagpipes. And so first home game, we had them going around in the bagpipes, waking everybody up like 6:30. But so Dillon had, for a while, we would put on like a pep rally, and it had been gone for a little bit. And that was something that we actually brought back this year. We kind of partnered with Notre Dame Athletics and put that on before the Friday before the first home game. And that was just a blast, kind of planning and stuff. We had like a Dillon band that put on the song Jump, which was awesome. And then we had a bunch of skits and like just crowd involvement stuff, which was fantastic. So it's kind of a newly, revitalized tradition, but I'm looking forward to like next year and the year after and stuff. It was just like such a fun thing to do and like plan and stuff. So, yeah.
Thanks for sharing these ideas and things that you can all look forward to when you join us here on campus. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and for asking your questions. I hope that we gave you some good ideas about what's available to you, and to hear some stories from our students, and to really understand firsthand what that student experience is about. We look forward to welcoming you back here soon. Thank you.